Hello, hello, hello. My name is Muyo Adigan, and this is the Redacted Nothing Show. I'm back with Stephanie, founder of NNESaga. Stephanie, welcome back to the 20 Nothing Show, 7 years on. How you doing? How you feeling?
Thank you so much for having me again, 7 years later. Yeah, feels surreal. Congratulations on 7 years.
No, same to you. And we'll talk about everything that you've been up to. But yeah, this is the interview we done was the 25th of February 2019. And now it's the 17th of February 2026. So it's crazy how we've nearly come around full circle. But when we talked spoke in 2019, you were 24, you're running a saga, you had like a small team of writers, you were hosting FIFA tournaments. I think the biggest one at that point that you'd done had 150 people. But now you've gone on to do so many massive things. You've worked with EA, Nike, Sony, Xbox, Apple, Disney Plus. You've won gaming awards, built bigger events that have to do like basketball or football. But before we get all into that, when I asked you to come to the studio in 2019, I always ask my guests one question, which is like, what songs do you want to bring in? And that would break up the show. So do you remember what songs that you asked to be brought in?
I genuinely can't remember. I have a very good memory, but I genuinely can't remember.
So it was six songs. People normally bring in five, so you have a record for bringing in the most songs. It was Hattie by 6ix9ine, Razy, FN by
Oh,
Future,
wow.
1-800 by Heady One and Dave, Selfish Little Sims, Girls Need Love, Summer Walker tune, and then Get Her Coyote by Kano, which is the second time it's been on the show. Do you still listen to those songs now?
Pretty Girls Need Love is it was my playlist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Say the other one.
Um, Tati by 6ix9ine.
I don't think I even said that. Don't even listen to 6ix9ine. Are you sure that was me? I'm 100% sure.
We'll go back into the script. We'll go back into the script. And FN by Future, 1-800, Heady One and Dave, Selfish Little Sims. Selfish is a tune.
I love the Sims and stuff.
Okay.
That sounds like, yeah, 100%. That's 6ix9ine. Doesn't sound like me. Yeah.
So in 2019, you were speaking about doing like the saga essentially on your own. That you had this team. You said, I literally run everything. I do everything from running the saga to writing on the website, hosting the events, networking, all that type of stuff. So walk me through what your journey's been like since 2019. Has your team expanded? Like, what are you getting up to now?
My team's expanded. Got a team about up to 10 now. Uh, don't do everything myself again, well,
Okay.
anymore. Still very hands-on. Just because it's my baby. And I feel like, as much as I didn't want to be the face of NNESaga, being the face of your brand helps a lot, and I think over the years, as I've always said to people don't buy into the brand because it's the brand, they buy into you. And I came into this industry not to try and be liked, but to try and make a difference. And um, you know, fortunately, a lot of people like me, and they not only like me, but more so what my mission and my purpose is.
Mm.
And it's always been about helping people, creating an impact, giving people opportunities, making sure that people, our community, are the standard they belong. And it's changed significantly. And I've always said there's no I in team, right? But I think with the company that I'm running and with the type of business and industry that I'm in, because it's such a niche, you just can't have just anyone being a part of your team or representing your team and stuff. So yeah, for a long time I was on my own because I have trialed people, and people life is all about also about disappointment. So there's gonna be people that disappoint you, you know. There's gonna be people that do good things for you and also move on. I think it's just more so about navigating the best approach for it, you know. So yeah, like yes, there is a team now. I don't do it myself, especially because of where NNESaga has expanded to.
Mm.
It's not just gaming is still the main pillar, but we do other things now. We do sports, we do tech and uh and film. We do entertainment, we do fashion, we do loads of cultural stuff. And there's only so much I know or I can do that I can't do anymore. And it requires a team. It requires people who are better than me in certain skill sets, you know, and have the experience and whatnot. So yeah.
So it's funny you bring up this thing of how it's expanded into like these other pillars, because in 2019 you said I actually want to own a gaming shop. I want to create my own video game, an RPG, 100 plus hours, black protagonist. I also want to create my own comic, maybe one day compete with Marvel and DC. I'm not sure if it worked out like that, if you've got anything cooking. With the dreams of how you expanded, was that always part of your plan that you wanted to go into different bits of culture like sports and tech?
Yeah, so I still want to create my own video game. I still want to have my own shop. I still want to do all those things, but I think those things take a lot of time and capital. However, we have like there's things that I have done that weren't necessarily in my plans, but
Mm,
have literally taken priority, which have that's also gone better. When I started my business, I didn't actually go into this business like with the end goal of making money, right?
okay.
Um, Especially because with the industry like gaming, there's lots of money to be made, but it's how you do it. Um, but my that was not my focus. You know, my focus was just about impact and helping people and making a change. In doing so, it did turn into something lucrative, especially from a financial standpoint. Thank God, we was able to build a six-figure business. Now it's using that and now scaling. Yeah, like there are things that like I said a couple years ago that I still want to do. I just haven't done it yet. Everything has been about timing. And then I guess going into your next question, I've always wanted to get into sports. I've always wanted to
So,
get in stuff in TV and film, fashion and other cultural moments. And it wasn't about if, but it was just more so about when and
yeah.
timing. I just made sure that NNESaga was established in a gaming space so then we can kind of use that as a pedestal into other spaces like sports. Like, gaming and sports go like this, but it's just about how
Yeah.
to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a matter of if, it was just about when. So just a timing.
What's been your favorite like offshoot in terms of like it has it been the tech, has it been the sports, has it been the events? Like what's been your favorite thing that sprouted from you creating a saga?
Favorite thing. That's just I think that one of the favorite things is just being able to do whatever I want. I think there's so much freedom I have that not a lot of people can say they have it. Don't get me wrong, when you're working for certain clients and brands, yes, they have their own, do you know what I mean? But I think there's so much beauty I have that I can do whatever I want. I've always kind of envisioned myself being my own boss or being you know what I'm saying, building this world. And I think I look back at it like gaming. When I am playing games, I'm immersing myself in my own world. There's a lot of world building in it. There's a lot of, things that I'm, doing in a game that is part of the journey. There's a lot of side missions, side quests, but especially with games nowadays, you create your own endings or
Mm,
you can kind of build your own thing and do whatever you want, your own capacity. And I think that's what I've actually enjoyed the most, forgetting everything else, like just being able to do whatever I want because of what I'm passionate about and because of what I love doing. And I think more than anything, that also shows the beauty of not necessarily free will, but more so in a sense of you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it, and there's no ceiling above yourself,
mm.
and I think once you break that ceiling, world's your oyster. Like you're limitless. And I think that's what I find, or that's what I found that I've enjoyed the most and my favorite thing.
Do you think you've always had that belief, or do you think there was a moment, like an event that you put on or something like that, where you're like, oh wow, like I could do what I want?
Yeah, because you have to have a certain slight madness to what you're doing. I think, a lot of people underestimate the fact that a lot of these geniuses in the world, they are, you know, so which is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Like, and I wouldn't come tapped or anything. Um, you you have to like really believe in yourself. Like you have to really say, no, F it, I'm going all in, whether somebody believes in you or not, because in order for other people to believe in you, you have to believe in yourself first, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's kind of helped me a lot is gaming, and I guess what I built, especially as a black woman, is impossible to do. And I've done the impossible, and I'm still doing the impossible. And there's still much more of the impossible that I know I can make possible, you know? Again, it's a never ending journey. So I think that's it, really.
Because in our first interview, you said if they don't allow you in the spaces, create your own and open up that new space. So do you think you've actually changed the gaming industry, or do you think you're still trying to carve your space and expand it?
Not to toot my own horn, but I have definitely changed the gaming industry. Um, the landscape of what it is like, and when I feel like I haven't, there's so many people that have told me that I have
Mm.
without even realizing. It's the smallest things that I've done that's changed the biggest like decision makers in the room. They're like, I've had so many people who actually work on the insides. And when I mean on the insides, they work at the gaming studios, they work with the people that actually make the games, they work with the decision makers. They're the ones that, pay the bills. And the meetings that they've had, they come and tell me that, Steph, we've used your saying, impact over numbers. We have told them, we have showed them, some of the things we've done, and it's helped mold and shaped how they navigate certain things.
Can you give an example, sir? Like, is there
Yeah,
some
so
that
yeah, now for example, when back in 2020 when we worked with PlayStation and Xbox to gift and give Black creators the new PS5s and the new Xboxes to be a part of the launch, that
Mm.
changed the trajectory because now so many more diverse people are working with Xbox and PlayStation due to us.
Yeah.
Not to say that they had that at all, but they rarely had any,
Yeah.
So that not only helped and impacted the UK and influenced the UK, it influenced other markets, the US market and everything like that in particular. They saw what we were doing on the ground here and say, yeah, let's go and do the same,
Mm.
And I'll
I think
always give that example, conscious trajectory of everything.
the global context matters as well. Like we're going through a pandemic, and you're able to provide those opportunities for people as well. Like gaming became like exploded because people are at home so
100%.
much. So it was a massive opportunity for those creators.
Yeah, exactly. Because if not for us, then, not to say that gaming still has a long way to go. It still has a very long way to go. But
Mm.
if not for us disrupting a system that was designed against us, we wouldn't be here, And
Mm.
I think I have to, for me, anyways. I struggle. Well, I struggled in the past to give myself flowers because I think a lot of people underestimate how difficult it is to not only run a company, run a community, but also fight for your community whilst it free.
Yeah, yeah, it froze. You said you're fighting for your community.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, not only am I doing that, like running a company, running a community, but I'm also fighting for the community, and doing that simultaneously is not an easy threat, especially when, there's a lot of toxicity in the space. But you do it for not for yourself, but for the people.
But before I go on to my next question, I just want to touch on that. Like, what type of toxicity have you felt recently? Like, are you still feeling?
Not recent. I mean, obviously not recently or anything, but like I think it's always going to be there, right? Racism,
Hmm,
misogyny stuff.
massage
You know,
more.
a lot of sex and a lot of sexism. Obviously, I'm not gay or anything, but like there's a lot of homophobia. You know what I'm
Hmm,
saying? Uh, as well that it also impacts our community because we run a community that's extremely inclusive, and that also includes the LGBT community. So when they're impacted, we're also impacted.
yeah,
So there's a lot of that you see where we're allies as well. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, introvert and like overt prejudice as well,
yeah.
micro discrimination. I've had somebody from like big companies, tell me that they don't want to work with NNESaga because we use the race card and whatnot. And I'll
Please.
never forget that because I was ready to out the person, but the
Hmm,
person inside told me, nah, Steph, don't worry, they're gonna regret it. And sometimes, not that you have to pick your battles, because I'm somebody that like when somebody wants to battle with me, it's the biggest mistake of their lives. But it's one of those ones where sometimes you have to know how to navigate things a bit so it doesn't impact what you're doing on a,
yeah.
realistic perspective. So yeah.
That's a really interesting way of seeing it, where it's like you're kind of staying silent, not because of what you can gain, but what others could lose potentially, because of they might miss
Yeah.
out on opportunities, even though you are doing the right thing. That is a really, really interesting point. There, you did say before about like speaking up now as well. And to go back to 2019, you did say there's times I've wanted to not quit, but just go quiet for a bit because it can become very overwhelming. So what keeps you going in those moments now? Or what's made you go, okay, I want to speak up for people?
I think first and foremost, God,
You know?
and just how much He's made me super resilient. Secondly, it's my community, it's our audience, it's the people around me. I'm so lucky to have a really strong support system in place that is outside of gaming, outside of
Okay.
work. It actually not only keeps me grounded, but keeps me sane.
Mhm.
It's who we do it for. The amount of opportunities we've given to people, paid, especially like we've changed people's lives, got them in rooms that they didn't even think they could step into. We've seen the results of stuff that we've done with brands and companies, but more so, it's the people that we are, impacting and transforming their lives that we do it for. You know what I mean? And I have a purpose that God's given me, and I think when you step into your purpose, there is absolutely nothing that could impact you wanting to quit. And I think
Mm.
where I was then and where I am, a lot more stronger. I know that what I've done and what I'm doing, I had to bear the cross a lot because I knew that like it would be easier when after I've opened the doors to people, which it has been. Uh, so yeah, I say that to say I've done it for the people. It's literally the people that keep me going, the people that we've helped, and the community more importantly, because there's no NNESaga without community. So yeah.
No, I love the fact that you're an empire builder, but the first and foremost is that you're somebody who wants to build a community where people feel safe and included. Um, to go back to your support system, it reminds me of what you said in our original interview. Shout out to my mum. She's always been someone who's just accepted me for gaming. She used to buy my games. Sometimes she comes to my events. Is your mum still supportive of like what you've done? I know you mentioned six figures, and I have Nigerian parents as well, so I know that means a lot to them, but be interested to hear it from your perspective.
Yeah, no, she's super supportive.
That's so good to
Always
hear.
have been. Yeah, like My mum, she's my best friend, and um, I couldn't ask God for another mother at all,
Mm.
because being Nigerian and being African even, like you're not, they want you to be the doctors, they want you to be the lawyers, they want you to be the traditional, nothing wrong with that. But when you want to do something that is completely left, it takes a bit of convincing. It
Yeah.
takes a bit of, my mum is extremely patient. She's extremely patient. I didn't start making money from NNESaga's been around for 11 years. I didn't start making money from NNESaga 5, 6 years in. So whilst I was working full time, and she has been incredibly like patient. I didn't go full time with NNESaga until the year after the pandemic. Um, so it was a risk, but like, and it's one of those ones, your parents want you to be okay. They want you to make sure you're good and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I think my mum, just she inspires me so much because coming from Nigeria to here and for her to make her own name here and for her to be successful and stuff like that, she just wanted to make sure that it will be the same for me, but make sure there's security and all that type of stuff. So there's nothing in this life I wouldn't do if not for my mom and just
Mm.
how much I was able to look at sacrifices she was able to make and the things that she was able to do to support me in order to do what I'm doing now. And she still supports till now and everything. And, you know, yeah.
No, that's really good to hear because I remember being surprised just how supportive she was in the original interview. I'm even happier to hear that she's carrying that on and that she's really proud of you and what you've created. Do you think she ever saw it getting this big?
Neither of us did.
Yeah.
But like neither of us did, but like it's one of those ones where like I think people need to kind of people one of the things I've realized doing this is embracing failure and also ensuring that you use failure for your lessons because a lot of people are, they're stopping themselves from being great because they're scared they'll fail. And there's nothing wrong with failing. The
Yes.
most successful people are started off failing in things and, falling, picking them stuff, getting and putting 100% in. So, yeah.
As in, I would argue to say only people who are successful have failed. That would be my, yeah, like reinforcement of that.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, exactly. I think, you know, nothing's perfect. No, they always say Rome wasn't built in 24 hours, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just having that resilience and just having that determination and that tunnel vision as well of knowing that I'm gonna do this. And even if you don't, it is absolutely okay. We only have one life to live, like life is too short to not try something.
Yeah.
And when it does work, go full swing ahead. Like my biggest thing was that I had to choose whether I wanted to do this full time or continue doing full time with my job, full time with NNESaga. And I just said to myself, if I'm not, I won't know unless I try.
Yeah.
And here we are.
What does NNESaga do for you now? Like, and did that change when it started to become this massive business?
Could you say that again, please?
What does it do for you now? You spoke before that you'll always be grateful of starting NNESaga because without it, you don't know what you'd be or where you'd be. So I'm asking that, what does it do for you now? And did that change when you realized how big it was getting?
What does NNESaga do for me now?
Mhm.
Um, NNESaga saved my life. first and foremost. I think where before I started NNESaga, I wasn't in a good space, and it's definitely saved my life. Number two, NNESaga has shown me life in a way that I didn't think that I could ever see life um, in a sense of dreaming and having it become a reality. You know, like I can today decide, okay, I want to do an event and I can do it. Or I can decide, okay, I want to work with PlayStation and I can do it.
Mm,
Or I can decide, oh, I really want to do something for the community and give back and I can do it. And I can do it in the way where I know how the community want it to be because I can speak to the community. Not a lot of people can say that they can speak to the community or have the community in the palm of their hands because they don't have that connection there. I think NNESaga's allowed me to move in ways that I didn't think I'd be confident to. I think if anything, NNESaga has brought out a side of me that has always existed, but I just needed a purpose to step into for it to come into fruition. You know, it's allowed me again to be resilient, confident. I'm funny enough, I'm a massive, massive introvert. And um I've always still till now, I still like keeping to myself, but you know, it has allowed me to bring out so many different, qualities about me that I probably had, but I didn't know unless I tried something, you know. And NNESaga's allowed me to, dare to dream. Yeah.
there's so much in that. Just you being introverted, it made me feel of like how so sometimes extroverts can like they hide in the community, they hide in the crowd, whereas like you can see it feels like you've you've kind of built your community to like flourishing as an introvert as well, which I think it's so good that you're coming out of yourself and using this saga as like that engine. Um, did remind me of like in my notes about when in our first interview you talked about if I had loved myself how many years ago, I wouldn't have taken a lot of stuff. Looking in the mirror every day helps a lot. Just reminding yourself what you have and what you're grateful for. Do you feel
So it was really bad.
no, it's fine. What part did you hear up to?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Cool. I started to cry and everything, but it's fine. We'll just get that in post. Well, I said that essentially, I feel like extroverts can use the community or use the crowd to hide themselves, whereas like it feels you built a saga to build a community where you can flourish, and it brought me back to a quote that you said in our first interview, which is, if I had loved myself how many years ago, I wouldn't have taken on a lot of stuff. Looking in the mirror every day helps a lot. Just reminding yourself what you have and what you're grateful for. So, what is it that you're grateful for with NNESaga now, looking 7 years on from that moment?
What is it? I'm grateful for NNESaga.
Yeah,
I am grateful for the connections that I've built. I'm grateful for changing people's lives. I'm grateful for how it's changed my life. It's given me um, financial freedom. Even though it's never been about the money, but let's be honest, like
yeah,
I
yeah,
can make money from my dream job. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, it has allowed me to not only change the lives of the community, but those even around me, my most immediate friends and family. You know what I mean? I can do things with them and for them. Um, I can work with some of these brands that I've never thought I would ever work for before. But more importantly, I think it's just how NNESaga has helped people, just to keep it as simple as possible. It just how much has helped people in ways that I didn't even think it would help people. There are things that we're working on this year that I like I can't even believe that we're doing because of NNESaga. we don't have the biggest numbers, but it's such a testimony to what I built and like the connections and the network that we've created that I can just call someone tomorrow and say, "Yo, we're doing this. Can you work? Can we work together?" And it's changed somebody's lives, you know. So I think
Yeah.
that's it.
You've said impact over numbers before as well. So it makes sense that you're doing these like you're talking to these massive brands, even though you feel like you might have the numbers to back it up, you've got the impact to back it up.
Exactly, and I'll always stand by it. Don't get me wrong. Numbers gets the thing. It gets people talking in the rooms, but it's your impact.
Mm,
You know, I want to be. I want. I can. God forbid I die tomorrow, but I'm all about legacy. What if I'm creating this, like what can I leave here
mm.
for other people? You know, like I wanted to make sure that what I'm building, I don't want the next generation to suffer like I did, you know? So yeah, yeah.
Going back to what you mentioned about like how it saved your life, to change mood here for a bit, just in our first interview, you talked about how you were anemic and how you can get very tired and you'd love to do everything yourself, but if you had a doppelganger, you would do it. So how do you manage that now? And have you seen the change as like NNESaga grown?
No, but um now that I have a team, it makes a bit things a bit easier.
Pretty good to
Um
hear.
it makes things a lot easier. Not a lot, but a lot better. But I feel like I think it's just managing things and taking things day by day.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure I'm actually taking breaks. Um and not burning myself to the ground. It can be difficult because I don't have a 9 to 5. It's nine today till nine till tomorrow. So it's navigating that, you know what I mean? But I'm doing a lot better with taking breaks, doing things for myself, you know, because if I'm run down, it doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes total sense. I'm really happy that you're looking to not like run yourself into the ground because you know like how many founders can like find themselves stressed out or burnt out and then just not have the fire in them or even something worse can happen to them. So I think it's really important that you're taking your time. Um,
Mm.
I want to speak about like before we get into like the closing questions, I want to speak about your first event. You said it was one of your favorite events, December 8th, over 150 people that came and you're so proud of that. Since then, what events have you put together that you've been proud of?
So my first event was 15 people, not 150. I think the 150 came a bit later.
Yeah, the
Um,
one of your first events.
yeah, like the events that we've done, we just recently did AFCON, had over like 600 people. Did AFCON last year. We've been doing a lot of watch parties. We did Gamer Girls Night In a couple of years ago, which was merging the worlds of beauty, gaming, and fashion. No brand has ever done that before. So I did that with my friend who owns Black Girl Gamers. Shout out Jay Ann. We've done activations and events for brands, which is crazy. And there's still more to come this year.
Mm,
Like I guess one of my proud moments when it comes to events, I think I don't have one just because every event has brought something unique and different. Because
mm.
we'll be here all day. I won't say a favorite. I think I'll have a favorite maybe over time, but I think every single event that we've done has brought something completely different, you know? So yeah.
No, fair enough. A very unique answer, to be honest. As we go on to the closing questions, I always like to ask the guests, what would you tell 2019 Stephanie, the one that walked into that studio 7 years ago? What advice would you give her?
Um, the advice that I'll give her is don't be too nice. Don't be too nice. Second advice would be just be a bit more stricter. Third advice would be whatever you feel like it may sound crazy, but you're gonna do it. That's probably it. It may sound crazy now, it's gonna happen.
So from this point onwards, then, what does success look like now?
Success for me looks like I can go to bed tomorrow knowing that I've changed somebody's life. Like every single day, I feel like um every single day something is happening through us, by us, and for us. And I feel like success is such a journey because it just depends on how do you measure and how do you quantify success. And I think for me, I find joy and success in just helping people. And I think I've done that quite a long time ago. And I think now it's just okay, how do you how do you kind of like now surpass that, right? I think it's just looking at new goals and targets. I still want to make my own game. I still want to,
Yeah.
there's still things I still do. So I think I've unlocked the first level of success, which was making people happy, helping people, you know what I mean? And then now it's like on to the next phase. So yeah, but I think it's a good question because yeah, I think it's just more so for me, success is just about helping out one person. And yeah, yeah.
So what do you have planned next for NNESaga to help achieve that success?
So we've kind of now expanded our services. So we are working with quite a lot of AAA talent now, especially athletes, around gaming in particular. So you'll see a lot more stuff coming soon. If it's not out by then. We now manage like talent as well. So really kind of building their brands because if I can go back to that question before, yeah, the success, I think success for me was also me not being the only black girl in the room fighting and being the only representation. And I've been able to achieve that by helping other black women in particular. Yes, we work with everyone, but black women in particular, I don't want to be the only person in the room. Luckily, I'm able to now with NNESaga manage black women who want to also make a difference in gaming. Um, and it's still ongoing, but I think that was my success using the tools and the knowledge that I had so that those that come after me don't have to suffer like I did. So yeah, but there's a lot more stuff coming this year. Can't really say much, but like
NBA.
yeah, and a lot of NDAs, but yeah, we are moving in ways that even I'm shocked about. And I genuinely can't wait for people to see what we can do. And I feel like the reason why I'm really excited about it is because we're doing something that probably no other agency or consultancy or brand has done with people. And I'm just grateful for the people that actually trust in us to deliver that project and campaign with them. So yeah.
No, that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Stephanie. I mean, 7 years ago, you were 24, you're running a saga by yourself, and you said if they don't allow you in the spaces, create your own. So you did. NNESaga has blown up. You've got awards. You've worked with massive organizations. And I was going to ask you, like, yeah, what do you hope to achieve in the next 5 years? But I feel like maybe you don't even know because, well, you're limitless in that way. So I'm really excited to see what you're going to achieve. Before I go, I just have to ask, what games are you playing now?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi's been bad. Wi-Fi's been bad, my bad. Um, but before I go, what games have you been playing?
At the moment, I was playing Vice City on my Switch the other day, and then I was playing Pokemon, the new Pokemon as of recent. Then yeah, that's it really at the moment. Yeah,
Sun and Moon, right? That was the most
what
recent
was
one.
that?
I've been playing Marvel, right?
No, Pokemon. Yeah, my friends have been telling me to go on it. I'm just like, I can't. I tried it once. I was like, you know what?
It's a lot. I
I'm
get what
gonna
you
give it another
mean.
go. That type of like, um, that type of like Overwatch type esque game is
Yeah.
not for me. But yeah, I don't know. It's not. It's the new Pokemon. ZA.
Oh, ZA. Yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah. But Pokemon Legends, not Sun and Moon. Well, it's been lovely talking to you. I hope you have a good day and you get some rest. See you in. I'll release this in June.
Speaks
Bye.